under the right circumstances, in the right situation, a process I use with some of my clients is facing their fear. Now, I wouldn't do that with every client in every situation, and I'd only push them as much as I can tolerate, extend the comfort zone. Yet, there's a German proverb that goes something like, better a moment of horror than a horror with no end. Now, I stand corrected if my interpretation of it isn't precise, although I take that meaning to sometimes we can have this anticipatory anxiety where we're anticipating what might happen, and a lot of things that we worry about never end up happening anyway, and if they did happen we couldn't control them anyway. So in certain situations, they might prepare for an interview, a job, go for a meeting, they might have that anticipation anxiety, and what we can do is expose them to even a role play or an enactment of the fear itself. And that's a bit like, say, Dr. Viktor Frankl, the neurologist and famous psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor. He would use that paradox or paradoxal way of exposing people to what they're afraid of, not literally, but graded in a situation that they can tolerate, the existential finding meaning from the situation. So the example would be, let's say someone would ask someone out on a date, for example, and they saw the person across the other side of the room and they were really afraid of going up to him and spilling their drink and bumbling their words and all that sort of stuff. What he might do, at least my interpretation of it based on the reading I've done around his work, is reenact a situation where they would laugh at the worst scenario happening. Now, you wouldn't do that everyone in every situation, obviously, but in certain situations it can be quite useful. Now, obviously, in some situations it would take a skilled professional as part of their remit, but from a coaching point of view, I found it quite useful to help people if they're afraid of going to an interview, or they're afraid of doing a presentation, or maybe even a sporting event. Actually enacting the situation and sort of laughing in the face of what the worst could happen anyway. And I can relate to that because when I first started public speaking many years ago, and because public speaking was going to be part of the work that I did, traveling the world speaking about my work, I was a bit nervous at first public speaking. One of the things I did is actually threw myself into speaking, and everything that could have gone wrong went wrong on the first speech that I did. But then afterwards I thought to myself, well, you know what, if that's the worst that can happen, I sort of laughed at it anyway. And it took a while, and I worked on myself, and obviously eventually I'd become a speaker. But the point being, sometimes in the right situation, the right circumstances, right to confront our fears. So live with passion, boom.